You are now listening to Out of the Blank.
Well, I got another podcast. This one's really early in the morning and kind of last minute, but I'm here with Tevin Snead, funny guy from high school. I don't know him as well as I would like to, but
I mean, we know each other a little bit.
yeah, cracking jokes in the hallway.
Yeah, very fucking. I can cuss, right?
Yeah, I don't care.
Very degenerate. Like, we were horrible.
Oh yeah.
It was so much shit in the hallway.
Oh, let me tell you, yeah, we did a bunch of stuff, cracking jokes. A lot of crazy things went on for sure.
Are we allowed to talk about that, or?
I mean, we can if you want.
I mean, it depends on how far down the rabbit hole you trying to go.
I mean, well, we know each other pretty well, but when it comes to, just like when we all kind of grew up and graduated, it got a little different. You know, we all kind of went on our own separate ways. So I want to get, now that I'm speaking to you now, I want to get more of a thing of what's going on in your life now. So what do you do, or what did you used to do?
Right now, I'm just kind of trying to find my way. I've been, actually, my podcasting equipment, doing, like, my own podcast, is, my equipment's on the way. Hopefully it should be here about 2 or 3 days. I don't know. Still waiting on that. But, I mean, I was doing audit at one of the hotels in Ocean City. And if you don't know what auditing is, it's pretty much I make sure people don't steal shit from the hotels, like money-wise. Like, people aren't, like, basically fucking the hotel out of money. I make sure all the money's accounted for. And
So you gotta be good at math to be really able to do that.
in a way, I mean,
Someone that's failed Algebra 3 like me 3 times is probably not going to be able to do it.
shit, nigga, I failed Algebra 1 and Algebra 2. Geometry was only easy thing for me. I just don't understand. And the shitty thing about algebra, you'll never ever have to use it. But we had to learn it. I've never needed it. But, I mean, it was an alright job. You basically run numbers and make sure people don't steal shit. You sit there and look at drunk people all night, and hopefully no shit goes down, even though most of the time it does. You just kind of got to handle it and figure shit out on the fly.
So when you're saying you're trying to find your way, okay, so I kind of want to dive into that a little bit, because that's a good thing, because I mean, you know me being a fitness guy, like working out all the time.
And me not being a fitness guy.
It's fine. Everybody's got their own outlet. Honestly, if someone gave me, like, asked advice about going to the gym and starting it, I wouldn't even start it. If you're happy, like, obviously everyone's got body issues, but if you're happy, like, you know, finding a different passion. Because working out at this point, it feels more like a job now. It feels like I have to go. I mean, I've gone every day, and it's like, I mean, not to dive into my own mental little disorders, but when it comes to, like, I feel like I have to go every day. Like, if I don't go, I just don't feel right. And it's become a therapy. It's like a stress relief. Like, it's like when you wake up and you brush your teeth in the morning, or when you first thing you do is you check your phone. That's what it's become for me. It's like I gotta have that in there. I'm just so used to it now. I've been going every day and haven't missed one. But it's like, at the same time, I can tell my body's not like keeping up like it used to. There are some mornings I try and get out of bed and I'm like, shit, like I can't even walk.
Now I don't mean to interview you, but has that become...
It's a conversation, bro. It's not just an interview.
All right.
So ask me anything.
Has it become something that you, like, kind of hate in a form?
A little bit. There was a point where I was like, I'd go in and then I'd be dreading the workout. Like, I'd be like, let's just get it over with so I can go home. Let's get this 2 hours out of the way. And it's like, everybody tells me, you're working out 2.5 hours. You do it every single day. And like, it feel like there was a point where I was like, you know, if I wasn't there for 2 hours, I would hate myself. Just be like, that was not a good workout at all. So then I'd have to feel like I'd have to go back again later or do something like that. But that's just because, you know, I was picked on heavily in high school. And bullying's a major thing. And, you know, not everyone is it's like a shape changer, and it's also not at the same time. It shapes you in good and bad ways, I guess you could say. You know, there's good parts to it when it comes to, like, it got me into the gym. It gave me a passion for a couple of years, and I'm still doing it every day. But it's like, I have a passion for that. But also, I started realizing, you know, when I was there for that long, I was listening to podcasts on my own. I really liked enjoying, like, hearing people talk and, like, jokes and, like, you know, I like to laugh. think that's with everybody. Everybody likes to laugh. Everyone's got their own form of comedy.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, I listened to Joe Rogan is one of my giant influences to even start a podcast. Mostly because his podcast was like 3 hours long, and he's real in his podcast. And just like how I try and run it, where I'm like, it's a conversation between me and the person I'm talking to.
Right.
You don't need to be worried about what these people that out there listening are going to think of you. Tell me what you want. I mean, tell me what you would talk to me about. Every person I've met has had an interesting story. We've all been through some things, whether they were good or whether they were bad. And I want to hear them. And it's not just for my own experience. It's for everyone out there listening that might hear your story and be like, hey, that's a good, that's something I can relate to that guy. And the next thing you know, I have you on again, maybe like 20 or 30 episodes down the road. And there's going to be the person that liked you on the first one was like, oh shit, it's Tevin. I'm going to listen to him on my podcast. And it's like, I think that's pretty cool. And, I mean, it's main reason why, like, I'm trying to use that as an outlet, too, and trying to get out of the gym a little bit. I mean, still obviously go, but not, not feel like that's, like, everything.
Basically trying to just find more, you trying to make more of the life you have. In a form.
I mean, working out every single day for, like, 3 hours, it's like...
Takes a toll.
But you're not going to be able to do that for the rest of your life. There's going to be points where either I'm going to have a kid or, down the road, hopefully, where it's like, there's going to be other things that got to come into importance, you know what I mean? So you just got to you got to plan yourself out and make sure you're enjoying life, too. Don't restrict yourself on food or anything.
I try to tell people that.
Well, it's like everyone's so obsessed, especially with society today, everyone's so obsessed with body image. And it's like, you can't focus on that. Find your creative passion or outlet. My creative passion, I was always called annoying in high school, but I had a passion and a form for words where I can talk a lot. And I started realizing that's perfect for podcasting. And podcasting I never even knew about until, like, when I first, like, second year into the gym or whatever, I was just listening to music on the treadmill. Then I was like, I want to hear something different, like someone talking where I can be informed. Started listening to Joe Rogan. And next thing I know, like, his conversations I was, like, picking up, even though some of it's, like, he doesn't really know what he's talking about. Like, I don't think that's true. And he has somebody look up the facts for him. I mean, even here, I'll sprout something, out of my mind or something, and it could be like, oh, I don't know if that's right. But it's like, it's like, I mean, if it's wrong, then I'm wrong. I'm not going to, go off to say, I don't want to be sprouting, like, false stuff. But at the same time, it's like, if I heard it somewhere and I got it mixed up, correct me. I don't care.
I mean, if we're wrong, we're wrong. I mean, we're two people that can pretty much shoot the shit however, whenever, and we can figure shit out. I mean, we might be wrong at some point during this whole thing. I'll probably be wrong. But
I'm not going to judge you for it.
Oh, I don't care. It is what it is. Yeah, you're
exactly.
I mean, shit. Where do we start?
Well, we're talking about you, but it's like, at the same time, it's... you got to focus, like, really, when you said you're finding your way is really what I want to get into.
That's right.
Because you got, like, what's your passions? I mean, you were always the funny guy in high school, always cracking jokes. Everyone knows you as Big Bear or Big Ted, you know what I mean? And it's like, you had that spark to make people laugh. And I have it too, but, I was always afraid to use it because, I'd always say something and someone would be like, all right, it was funny the first time you said it and you didn't really know when to stop.
It's a blessing and a curse.
Exactly.
It's a blessing and a curse. It's one of those things, well, you want to, let's see. All right, well, it's a blessing and a curse in a form because you can be funny, but then on the other hand, it could be that situation where it's like, oh, you've already said it a couple times. It's not funny anymore. Or get deeper down into it, you being funny might, like, kind of fuck you up in, like, your own type of life. Like, even when you're trying, like, even talking to women, you might just be the funny guy to her, and it's just not, you're not.
Yeah.
It kind of, it's a double-edged sword in a form when it comes to, like, being the funny person, because it could springboard you, or it can fuck you up and make you go down.
Well, there's appropriate times to crack comedy, and there's non-appropriate times. Like, you don't want to be cracking, like, fart jokes at a funeral, even though it might in a sense it might be in a good way, just because you're trying to make your whoever is dealing with something, or if you're dealing with something, you're trying to cope with that.
Yeah.
but at the same time, it's like, you know, it's the scenario really basis too. And I think like that's a really good thing about public schools is when it comes to communicating with other people. Like when you are, like in the mornings, what's the main things you remember about school is you're sitting there with your friends before classes start, either talking about whatever you guys want to talk about or talking about the video game you played the night before, the party you had or something like that. And it's like, when you enjoy something like that and you're getting this camaraderie with your friends, it's something. And it's like once we all get older and we're all living separate lives, we all kind of distance ourselves from everybody, and then it's so hard to get reconnected. You realize that public school was literally just a giant meeting of all of us at once. Like we all had to be there. You know, if you wanted to call out sick, you could call out sick. But it really is like that was the only benefit I really saw from public school, besides the knowledge that I definitely took for granted now. Mostly because, like, I'm spending a lot of my times, like, researching and doing a lot of stuff, like, for college and stuff like that. But it's, like, at the same time, you know, it was free, like, education, like, experience. And all I really saw it was as, like, a task I had to do. And it sucks that you have to be older to really realize that. But, like, you gotta realize your immaturity level in high school and all that's a little bit different.
And, I mean, I've been to private school and public school. So I've kind of felt the best of both worlds. There's positives of both, negatives of both. I mean, I honestly feel like if it wasn't for public school, I probably wouldn't be as funny as I am now. Because, like, public school kind of gave me, like, an audience. Private school, I was kind of, like, binded by having to act a certain way.
Well, did you have to use a uniform and everything in private school? Well, see, private schools, like, I feel like it's a lot like a militarized version of public school.
Very
just
much.
Because they're trying to get you, like, form you in a certain way. When public school really opens up everyone's creative outlets. If you want to play a sport, you're more than willing to sign up a sport, but you always have to keep your grades up. But at the same time, you know, if you want to express yourself in art, you can express yourself in art, you know, and you're getting so much cultural influence too. Like, if you go to a private school, there could be, you know, all white kids and a couple black kids. There's not going to be a full variety of kids. But if you go to a public school, you're getting everybody. You're getting, like, but everyone tries to conform into their own little groups where they feel comfortable.
And that's kind of the thing, because when I was in private school across the bridge, I'm basically I'm in an all-black private school. There's no white kids at all. Only maybe one teacher is white. That's it. I was around all black people. Then I moved down here to go to public school, and it's predominantly white people. So, like, I have a whole different audience, like, at that point. So when I start getting my jokes off, they hit different with white people than they probably do with black people. There's certain jokes I can get off that white people will laugh at that black people might not necessarily laugh at.
Yeah.
And there's certain things I can say that black people will laugh their ass off that white people may not understand.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, when I came down here, it's like I have a more of a mixture of an audience. So if I could, like, if I can get a joke off, I'm more likely to get everybody to laugh, like, around here, because there's different cultures, different people here. Where I'm from, it's black people. Now like back home where my parents live, it's multicultural, but back in the day, it was only black people and maybe 2 white people in my neighborhood.
Isn't it weird how, like, in society is a lot like a reflection of really public schools? Just because, you know, like, everyone conforms into their own little groups. Like, you see the rednecks all sitting in one area, you see the skaters all in one area, the surfers in one area, then, like, there's the group of black people in one area, and they all sit together. And is that just because that we're more comfortable around people that kind of relate in similarities to us?
In a form, I mean, I feel like there's a fear factor into it, in a way. Like, some people don't want to step out of their boundaries, some people don't want to go and, like, venture off into something else because they don't know how those people are going to react to them. Some black people were programmed just to kind of just stay with your people, because you don't know what can happen if you go try to make friends with these people. It's a fear factor with a lot of people. And I mean, me personally, I was never a person that had a certain group. Well, my first 2 years of high school, I was, like, in the hallway with you guys.
Yeah.
So it was like, I guess that would be like the nerd anime crew. And
I was just trying to find a place to stand that I knew like 3 people.
Hey, I made sure you was good. I made sure nobody fucked with you because I just don't like that shit because I was bullied myself.
I appreciate it, yeah.
And I mean, it's one of those things. Like after I think we got kicked out that hallway. I can't remember. It was some nasty shit that happened and we got kicked out that hallway. But I don't know. After that, I kind of just didn't have a specific group. I was cool with the football players because my cousins were like on the football team. I was cool with the rich uppity kids because they ended up figuring out I'm not necessarily a low. I ain't gonna say low class, but I wasn't one of those kids that they thought was like poor or whatever. So
yeah,
they was like, oh, your parents are middle high class. You can talk to us. And
do you think it's crazy how we care so much about what people think of us? I feel like even the person that says they don't care what people think about them, they still in the back of their mind like they care. And
in all honesty, I mean, I can sit there and bullshit and tell you I don't care. In a form, in a way, I do.
We all care.
I care.
We take everything to heart. Doesn't matter if it hits you in that moment, but down the road you're gonna think about it. Like, damn, maybe he's right. You know what I mean? Like, I was told I was worthless at times from like friends that call to me now asking like, hey, can you help me get my life back on track? I drink too much and stuff like that. It's like, I'll be more than willing to help anybody. I understand that, you know, because I mean, I had a really rough go at things at my childhood when it comes to bullying and stuff like that. But you know, it's not their fault. It's society. Everyone's trying to fit in. Everyone's like, if you can crack a joke on someone, make fun of someone, and it gets a laugh from the group, you know, you're gonna try and go for that. But at the same time, there's really a giant line between being a dick and being like a funny person. And you know, like, if you ever have a group of friends that all are cracking jokes all at once and stuff, that's, oh my god, it's like, oh my, you get like anxiety, but it's a good and bad feeling, you know what I mean? Like, you're like, oh, what's gonna, you know, who's gonna say something funny next? But at the same time, it's like, oh, I hope they don't pick on me.
Yeah, and it's like, that's kind of where I kind of, what the fuck is the phrase? That's where I kind of,
diverse.
Kind of, learned from, being from where I'm from, like Prince George's County, like near DC. Like, being from there, you have to learn how to be able to like joke and all that different stuff. You got to learn how to be able to take it in.
You got to take your punches. Yeah.
You got to be able to take that punch, think of something, and do it right back. Like, literally, well, there we called it joning. They might still call it joning over there, but, I mean, you literally, like, it'll be 3 people, like, joning on you, just getting at you, making you want to cry. You have to be able to take all 3 things that they said, figure something out, figure a joke out, and spit it right back. Yeah. And from that, I had to deal with that all my life.
Yeah, think on your feet,
sure. I was bullied myself. So it's like, it was one of those things where I had to, like, think on my feet, be quick, and then boom, 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 and that in a form helped me be able to get like the joke, like most of the jokes that you hear me say, or the crazy shit you see me say on Facebook, that's not something I think about. I mean, it's not something that I like took a long time to think of, and then I just put it on there. It's one of those things like it just pops in my head, and as soon as it pops into my head, I just say it. Most of the jokes you've ever heard me say, or the wild shit you ever heard me say, I did not think much about it. It just hit my head and I said it.
Yeah, that's the same thing with me. Well, see, I have like ADHD and stuff, so when it comes to like that, it's like you can't even control it. It's more like it just
I'm the same way.
It comes in there, you gotta blurt it out, and then someone's like, "Why would you say that?" And be like, "Yeah, it was in there."
And that's how it is, and that's like how I am. Because sometimes, most of the time, those jokes when it just comes from the top of my head, people will die laughing.
Yeah. For me, it's like you know, a lot of people don't jive with it. You know what I mean? Like when you feel like when you just randomly blurt something out, or you can't hold it in. It's like nobody that doesn't have what you're experiencing too, which is really hard to like identify. Like when it comes to ADHD, but like someone that has ADHD talking to someone else that has ADHD, you know, you can understand what they're feeling when it comes to that, and they can kind of like shuck and jive. You know what I mean? Like get the whole like momentum of their conversations going. So if I blurted something out right now, you would understand what I'm saying. Yeah. But like if I was around somebody that's never experienced what that is to have that type of symptom or have that type of disorder, it's like, you know, they don't understand it. They're like, why don't you just calm down? Why don't you just sit down? A lot of teachers don't understand that too, but there are those few special ones that do.
It's kind of like how I have depression. I suffer from depression, but somebody that's never suffered from it or doesn't go through that wouldn't know what I'm talking. They wouldn't know, like, if I started talking about depression, they wouldn't understand it necessarily because they haven't went through it. But if I said it to somebody that's also going through it, they'd understand and be like, I got it. I understand it.
Yeah. Well, I understand it pretty well, too. I believe we all suffer from a form of depression. I just believe some of us are a lot better at masking it than others. And at the same time, some people don't even realize they have it. You know, like, there were certain points I was starting to realize that, like, if I would try and skip out on the gym or, like, try and not go, even if it was, like, an hour before midnight, I end up going. Like, all right, I gotta go. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's, and that's only because it's a form of therapy, and it's also a form of, like, just, like, trying to release some stress. But I think for you, podcasting would be a great thing to get into to just, like, if, you know, to deal with depression, because you love to communicate, just like I love to communicate. And I started realizing, you know, setting up for podcasts and stuff, it is very difficult, mostly because you're coordinating around somebody else. So it's like people have work, people have lives, people have stuff they want to get done. Nobody really wants to come over and sit down and, you know, shoot the shit. But then once they get here, they're enjoying it, they're vibing it. Like, they're like, all right, this is a fun kind of thing. It's going by a lot quicker than I thought it would. Like, you know, I've had people ask me, do you have like 30 minutes of questions lined up? When someone messages me that, I'm like, no. I'm like, dude, I only want to know two things about you: what you do for a living right now, and if you got a different like kind of name, like first or last name, be like, tell me how to pronounce it. Yeah. I'm like, you're talking to me like I randomly would see you in public, and we're shooting the shit at Walmart. That's how we're gonna talk. But you know what? I definitely feel like podcasting would be your type of outlet too, just because. You're really good at communicating with people, and you can definitely, like, you have a lot of connections when it comes to friends and stuff, and, like, you've obviously experienced a whole wide variety of places that you've lived and friends, so it's like, you've met everybody, you got a little bit of the taste of all the different cooks in the kitchen.
And that's kind of why, that's kind of why I did want, I'm going to do podcast. I'm waiting for my equipment and everything, and, that's my way of venting, like, everything out. Like, I'm not venting like my sadness or anything, but
it's therapy.
It's therapy to me, because if you probably seen it. Like, I'll like I used to be the person that harbored all of my like depressive feelings and stuff like that.
And then you're having a conversation with somebody, and the next thing you know, you're releasing like some of your problems out, and you're like, why did I say that?
It may not even that, but that's why if you ever see on Facebook every couple weeks, maybe every couple months, you'll see me post something, and I will sit there and tell you I'm depressed. I'll tell you I'm not myself. Something's wrong. I'm not, and some people think I'm saying that it's certain people that feel a certain way about it, and they feel like I'm saying it to make like for somebody to feel bad for me, or people to get me help. I put it on Facebook, and I put it on social media, so people that's going through it knows that you don't have to hide it. Just know that there's other people going through it, and know that
the first step is recognizing it too.
And I go through it. Like, there was a point where I used to harbor it so much, it fucked me up to the point where I wanted to die. And it's kind of like, that's actually when I started saying, you know what, I'm just talk about it. And if me talking about it can save somebody's life and stop somebody from hurting themselves or doing whatever, I'm fine with that. And if that means I put myself out there to be ridiculed, or put myself out there to be looked at different, or put myself out there to seem, if I put myself out there and people think I'm weak, then it is what it is. At least I know that I helped somebody in a positive way. And that's even regardless of depression, like, even when, not even like talking about depression, that's anything with me. If I can make a difference in your life and make, I'm the type of person where even if I personally don't do anything else in my life, and I'm just here do a podcast for the rest of my life, as long as I am happy, as long as I'm happy and I know I did something to make a difference to somebody.
Exactly. there's gonna be someone that's listening
happy.
right now that's gonna hear this and be like, hey, you know, he's right. You know what I mean? Like, they're gonna vibe with you. They're gonna pick up like your tone and everything. There's gonna be someone out there that hates my voice. There's gonna be someone out there that hates what I say. There's always gonna be haters, and there are always gonna be people that actually enjoy your form. So don't care what the people that hate you think. Just think, you know, there's someone out there that's gonna think, hey, you know, I'm a pretty cool dude. I think you're an amazing person. So it's like, you know, you don't have to worry about, you know, if you ever needed me, I'd be there for you. I'm there for anybody, basically. It doesn't matter if I just met you or anything. If I have $1 in my pocket, you need $1, I'm going to give you $1. But at the same time, it's like, when it comes to society, and really I think that's a major link to everyone's depression, and it's really hard to find, like, your own really, like, open up to the world, I guess you would say. And I believe that's like the best way to really find your path, not just with podcasting, but with like opening yourself up to the world. Why close yourself off? But people want to close themselves off because they feel comfortable when they're in their own little environment.
They'd rather kind of, instead of them sulking in front of people, they'd rather sulk by themselves.
Like now, I mean, I wouldn't have done this in high school, but now I'll walk up to a group of rednecks or a group of black people and try and get in there, like you try and, you know, be friends. I'm friends with everybody, I like to think, even though they're not going to probably like that. At the same time, it's like I'm open to it. Like I'm open to change. You got to be open to change too, or it's not going to work.
And I try my best to open that door for things like that. Like I have like skateboarding friends that I've like opened the door for them. They might not necessarily been comfortable to be with like a group of black people. Now they've kind of figured their way into it, and now they're comfortable. And I have black friends that might not necessarily had like knew how to be around white people. Now they're around. Even the form, I didn't know how to be around white people. When I first came down here, this was the first time I was around a bunch of white. Like literally where I live, it's almost all black and Hispanic.
Well, Ocean Pines just being all white people?
No, I'm talking about like just around here being like predominantly white.
Oh yeah, well we're in like a surfer type town because it's like a clique. Like you know, you grow up in a place where everyone's like, oh, that city's rough, that city's going through like severe poverty or something like that. It's like there's a different culture. There's black people there, and it's like, why is that though? That's not a stereotype. That's a real thing on the news and everything like that. But it's like, the news is the giant influence when it comes. I think that creates everyone's depression because it's pissing people off and you don't even know it. I mean, you're talking about kids that are getting ready to go to school in the morning. Their parents are watching the news like, oh, this shit, they shot another person on the TV. It's like, then when that kid goes to school, he's like, yeah, screw this white boy and something like that. You know, I'm not trying to be like stereotypical here, but it's like, that's what happens. And it's like, if we stop, you know, focusing so much on the bad shit and start focusing on like good stuff, like, hey, you know, this happened, and like we have to learn about Martin Luther King, and don't you think it's a little bit weird that every time it's a conversation between a white person and a black person, it always boils down to race?
I mean, in a way, to me, I think there's no way you can get past. I think there's no way you can stop that from happening. It's
like, obviously we're different, but it's like, I don't see it as like, you know, our skin color. Obviously our skin color is different, but it's like, I don't see it as that. I see it's like, you got a giant beard, I don't have a beard. You know, you got glasses on, I don't have glasses on. I see that with everybody. I'm like, there's always that different thing. Like, there's always like, if someone's 7 feet tall, there's no way we're not addressing that. Like, I'm gonna be like, you're tall, and you know, he probably hears it all the time. But it's like, I'm short, so it's different, and it's like, that's what I like. Like, I like feeling like everyone wants to feel like an individual. You know what I mean? And I just believe, like, when it comes to society, it's like there's always that stigma of like, you know, it always ends up boiling down to race. Be like, oh, I hate white people too. Like, when you're talking to a black person, it's like, why are you saying that? He goes, oh yeah, because all this stuff we did in history. Who cares? Stop focusing on the past. Focus on the now.
I think there's a lot of anger that comes from the now, and there's a lot of things I've experienced. Shoot, I got police pulled guns out on me and my cousin like a year and a half ago, 2 years ago.
I got pulled over at a Royal Farms like 2 years ago because I was eating the French fries there, and I had got a bunch of crumbs in my lap. So I got up out of the car to dust myself off, and the cop thought I was hiding weed or something. And I'm like, what? And he goes, you just look like the type. I'm like, what do you mean the type? I look like how I do now, just with the hoodie on. But I guess it's like a teenager or whatever, you know, kind of stoner type. It's like, you're that into stereotypes, man. I'm just trying to... I'm right behind Royal Farms eating freaking a 6-piece chicken tender meal. Like, seriously, like, you really think I'm selling drugs right here? There's no other cards out there either.
Those chicken tenders, my God.
No, the French fries.
Oh,
dude.
the French fries.
The potato wedges.
The chicken tenders are good, too.
It's like 3 of those French fries is like a potato.
Oh, my. Those tenders are fire.
Unless you go to the one in West Ocean
If you
City.
get that,
The West Ocean City one's terrible.
No, I go to the Berlin one.
The West Ocean City one's shit. I went in there, bought a 6-piece chicken tender meal. They said we can't make the chicken tenders, but we can make the fries. I'm like, how are you? I don't feel like putting any more chicken on. How are you not going to put chicken on? It's 2 p.m. right now.
I've literally seen some old worker take out the trash with the gloves on, go in there and make somebody's meal. I saw that shit. I said, I'm done. I'll go to the one in Berlin, but I mean...
Well, you put enough honey mustard on it, you're not going to taste it.
I don't use honey mustard.
How the hell did we just go off on a tangent
I don't
about
know,
chicken?
Royal Farms is good.
Exactly. Royal Farms is good. I mean, Popeyes, you can't beat that. All right, let's get off the chicken subject here. Everyone's going to think we're racist because we're talking about chicken.
Shit, I like chicken. I don't give a fuck.
I like chicken, too. I also like cornbread. Does that make me... Yeah.
I had cornbread yesterday.
Lucky. I haven't had that stuff in forever. See,
Right.
I enjoy that stuff, but that's like that's a thing with society. A certain food gets related to a certain race. Why is that? Why can't I enjoy it too?
I mean, I feel like everybody can enjoy it, but I think there's kind of... I mean, there's
going to be a difference between me eating a piece of fried chicken and you eating a piece of fried chicken. Someone's going to be like, oh, that's the black guy. He likes fried chicken. Someone's going to say it to me and be like, he just likes fried chicken.
I mean,
why do you gotta think like that? Like,
I mean, there's background to it. Just like how
you're really raised and grown up.
No, not necessarily that. People like when people talk about chitlins, they think about us. But the reason chitlins is connected to us is because when we were slaves, we weren't given regular food. We were given the parts of the pig that slave masters didn't want to use, which was the intestines and the feet and everything else. We cooked that and ate that.
We eat that today too.
So it's like that's why like it's connected. It's certain things that's connected. Like so that's why sometimes like some white people be like, why do you eat chitlins? That's where that comes from. That's where it stems from. It stems from that's what our ancestors would eat because that's the only thing they could eat.
We all eat leftover pig parts. I mean, we're hot dogs, dude. What do you think is in a hot dog? It's like the pig butthole.
I don't eat hot
and
dogs.
everything.
Not anymore.
Why?
After I saw how it's made, but I mean that's with anything. Everything's made with.
Yeah, you see a chicken get its head cut off, you probably want to stop eating chicken for a little bit.
I've cut a chicken's head off.
What? Like just in your backyard?
No,
and just slice his head off.
So
you gotta
two different forms. All right, so I used to take culinary in high school, and we had to kill chickens, like literally had to get the chicken. It was like for like the Future Farmers of America.
What culinary class is this? A VOTEC?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Why did I not take that class? I would have loved to chop a chicken up.
So it's like I remember. I actually got a funny ass fucking story to this.
Tell me, let's go.
All right, but all right. So they make you put the fucking chicken head through this cone, like a fucking traffic cone.
Like the ones that dogs stop biting themselves because you have to.
No, it's like an actual traffic cone. Like they had this traffic cone. They cut like a little bit off the top. So what you do, you put the chicken in there. You put the chicken in there. You pull the head, and that'll snap its neck. So it's already pretty much dead. Then you cut while its neck is still exposed from the bottom of the thing, you cut it and let it bleed out. Now, that's the humane way. I've done like my grandmom. That's the humane way. The inhumane way is like what my grandmom and them used to do back in the day.
Just held it down and chop it with a butcher
No,
knife.
fuck that. Grab the chicken by its neck, ring it like this in the air.
Like a wet towel?
Yeah, like a wet towel, and then until its neck snap, and then it'll run around until it drops, because it still has nerves in its body, and then you cut his neck, let him bleed out, do what you gotta do.
Why is it that we can kill a chicken like that, but if we try to kill a dog like that, it would be a whole different stigma?
Shit, I don't know. I mean, I ain't gonna say I don't care about dogs.
Animals are animals, but it's
like
at the same time, you think of a dog differently than a cow.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? If someone says, we're gonna raise these dogs and then eventually slaughter them for meat. You're gonna be like, why are you doing that?
Yeah, why do you do that to the doggo?
It's like, why are we doing it to a cow? It's probably because they don't have eyebrows.
The poor puppers, as the white people would say. Well, white women would say.
White women. You're being the stereotype again.
Yeah, I am being a stereotype.
It's like when I go to Starbucks. What's the stereotype for Starbucks?
Oh my god.
White
Hi,
women.
Hi. Oh my god. Can I get a
Sweatpants and
venti
Uggs.
latte? Venti?
What?
Venti? Oh, mocha latte.
I feel bad for those Starbucks baristas that have to listen to those people
Extra espresso shot.
with 2 shots of mocha frappuccino.
Yes. 2 creams.
Why 2 creams? Why are we doing the white girl
I have
voice
no
for that
idea.
one? See, it's a stigma. That's what it's crazy, man. I'm telling you, man. It's when it comes to cultures, I believe there's funny stuff about it and there's there's bad stuff about it. But see, you can make fun of a white person, no problem. There's no stigma on it. But you try and make fun of a black person and be white, there's a stigma on it.
Oh shit. Alright, back to the chicken. Okay, funny story.
We've got
All right.
The chicken has more?
Yeah.
You're not killing it anymore, right?
No. This fucker is dead.
I would say so. His
he's
neck
dead.
snapped.
So basically, to defeather them, it's like boiling water. You just dip them in there real quick, and that makes it easy for you to defeather them. So as we're defeathering him, like again, his head's cut off. He doesn't have a head.
Okay.
We're defeathering him, and as we're doing that,
This is in class.
yeah, this is like we're in like the secondary kitchen that's all the way in the back. Like we rarely
Hey,
go
you don't
back
want to
there.
bring that out in the prime kitchen.
Yeah, we're really back there. So we dip him into the boiling water, bring him back up, like quick 1 second, boom, boom. Start taking the feathers off, and we keep hearing this sound. We're like, what the fuck is that? We just keep plucking it. It was about maybe like 10 chickens.
It was
We're
still
just plucking.
alive.
When the girl cut its throat and cut its head off, she cut it before the voice box. She didn't cut the neck. She didn't cut it close enough to where the voice box was going to.
So it was still alive?
It was like, because of the muscles and all, it was like, wah. And so this fucker is halfway fucking defeathered. Head gone. And it's like fucking making chicken sounds.
Because the wind.
Like faint chicken sounds. And the girl, and it was this girl, I can't remember her name. She screams and like blacks out, and somebody like grabbed her before she hit the ground. But the chicken was still making fucking noise after we done dipped him in boiling water, cut his head off and everything. Shit's crazy.
Holy crap.
Fucking crazy.
That makes me want to go to the Purdue factory and just start interviewing people.
Jesus Christ. Yo, you gonna have some bad. That's bad.
I know a
Don't do
couple
that.
people that have worked there, and they unless you're driving the trucks, they hate their life.
Yeah,
Because
no.
they say that like after like a week, your hands are all like blistered up and calloused up. I mean,
Because the trucks, you actually make more money, if I ain't mistaken.
you don't even think how the process of your food being made is. You know what I mean? You just buy it from the store and don't even think twice about it. And then you got the vegan people. I don't eat animals or meat, but it's like, do you eat? You know, like it's you don't have to not eat meat or anything. You can have your own process. And this is actually what I'm excited about tomorrow. I have my vegan friend coming in tomorrow to do my podcast. So I'm really trying to
Girl,
hear.
guy?
It's a guy.
Oh.
Yeah. You think of girls as vegans, right? Not really.
Yeah, for the most part.
I like a girl.
Because most of my female friends are vegan.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's like it's a social thing too.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna try that keto diet.
Don't. So many people try that keto crap. I believe you just eat what you really want, man. I mean, if you want to honestly lose weight, you should just move more. You know what I mean? But I mean, as long as you eat healthy, I mean, don't just go over insane about it. Like, don't be counting your calories. Like, the worst thing I ever did was when I first started going to the gym, I started looking at nutrition label facts. Oh, that messed me up for the rest of my life, dude. I know that for a fact. Because, like, dealing with body dysmorphia or something like that, it's like every time I'm checking something, I'm never drinking calories. I'm never, like, trying to eat over a certain amount, but I'm making sure I burn off. And it's like, it's so tasking. It's like, I wish I could just sit down and enjoy a Kit Kat without feeling bad. You know what I mean? And that was, like, actually my New Year's resolution was to try and focus on, like, you know, enjoying, like, a pretzel, enjoying something without feeling like a Reese's cup, without feeling, like, bad about myself. But it's, like, it's weird when it comes to that type of mental disorder or something like that.
What's the fattest thing you like to eat? like fattest unhealthy thing you like to eat?
Like if I was going to eat something,
yeah, the fattest fucking thing that you could ever eat, just something you could just like.
Are you saying that I recently buy and go into, or something that I just wish I could eat but I couldn't stomach for?
Both.
Well, one bad thing I guess you would say that I do enjoy every now and again, or not every now and again, but I do honestly eat it on like a daily basis, would have to be cereal. I don't really care what. I like the healthy cereal. I don't eat that. Yeah, I eat anything. I'll eat Lucky Charms. I'll eat anything like that. But I mix it with a bunch of good stuff. I usually use it to top stuff off with. I'll grab like a handful of like Raisin Bran and crush it up and then like eat it. Like I eat dry cereal. I don't use milk or anything. Oh. So like I'll sprinkle on. Once you eat salads for so long, every single day, you're using spices like paprika, yellow mustard, all these different types of like hot sauces and all this stuff to add flavor to it because you're just tired of eating the same old boring stuff over and over again. But like I'll sprinkle it on top of my salad. People will think it's weird. No, try eating a salad 3 times a day, every single day. It's like you want flavor.
I mean, people put raisins in their salad anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
And I mean, you're basically just adding. I mean, like it's kind of, I guess, a form of a crouton.
Yeah, it gives it crunch, man.
It's like if you crush up a crouton, pretty much.
Well, you know, a lot of people that get like I haven't had bread in a long time.
And that's what I got to cut out.
When you get off of bread and stuff like that, you know Gerardo.
Yeah,
I'm having him on my podcast. He lost a lot of weight recently.
Yeah, no, I saw.
And he gave me a shout out because I'm the one that gave him the advice and helped him lose the weight. All I told him was, "Hey, man," he asked me how to lose weight. I said, "You know, you're Italian. Cut out pasta." He's like, "Are you sure?" I'm like, "Yes." Stop eating so many breads. If you want to eat your carbs, eat it from like fruits. Yeah. You really have a sweet tooth. I tell people, if you have a sweet tooth, go to Harris Teeter right now. It's 99-cent grapes. I stocked up and threw them in my freezer. You eat one frozen grape, it kills the craving of chocolate or peanut butter, anything. It's like a treat, and a lot of people don't understand that. It's because it's so sweet. A grape is sweet. But when you eat a regular grape, you eat it so fast, your body doesn't recognize what it is. But if you eat a frozen one, it takes a little bit longer, and it's like a treat, man. And I use that to kill kind of my sweet tooth. Like if I get a craving for a Reese's, bam, throw that right in there, it goes away immediately.
Because that's my problem. I like starches. Nigga, oh shit, I said the N-word. Oh my god.
Well, you're black, so I guess you can do that.
No, I said the word.
Yeah, you said the full word.
Damn it.
Yeah.
Shit. Fuck, well, there we go. I mean...
Well, if you want to cut out carbs, like I was thinking, I eat raw cabbage. Eat raw cabbage. It sounds crappy. Go to the store, like Walmart when you get done here. Go to Walmart. Grab a cabbage leaf, like a fresh cabbage. Take one of the leaves, peel it back. Make sure you kind of wash it. And then put your meat inside there. It's called a raw taco. You just fill it up with any food that you want and then roll it up and eat it. It's literally that. It's your brain wants something like a crunch or wants something that's like around your food, I guess you would say. So like if it's a slice of bread, you know, that type of stuff. And obviously like your eating habits are going to be focused on mainly what you do or what you're interested in, like your genetics and also how much money you have, to be honest with you. Like it was really hard growing up. Like I wouldn't be able to eat how I eat now in the house I grew up because everything was like the cheapest stuff you can buy. You know, we focused on other more expenses, like getting car payments and like stuff like that. But that's with a lot of like society and economic stuff today. It's like, why is the obesity rate so high? Well, why is the bad food so cheap and the good food so expensive?
Exactly. Like, it's fucking...
How is a single mother of five supposed to feed her kids on, you know, working her ass off 2 days and still have or not 2 days, but 2 jobs every single day and have the time to be able to cook a nice vegetable meal for her family? No, she's going to go to the quick snacks that they can heat up in the microwave or go to a fast food place and stop by there because it's the quickest, cheapest option.
Yeah, it's like fucking it's like 6 something for like regular like fucking turkey meat, but then if you want the organic kind, it's like $9.
Yeah.
It's like $3 more to kind of fuck you in the end.
My grandma really gave me the best advice. Like, I go grocery shopping around this time, like 4 in the morning. So it's like, now everybody knows that we're podcasting so early in the morning. But it's like, you know, when you go at 4 in the morning, everything's marked down. There's yellow ticket sticker stuff. They're trying to get the stuff out of the store, especially if you're a big produce guy like me. This is the prime time to go shopping, just because everything, like a thing of mushrooms that's like $3 goes down to $1, and it's like all the bags of kale that are like $6 go down to like $2, and it's like everything gets dropped because I mean. They're like, we need it out of the store, we need to get it out. And that's, usually when you go to a grocery store this early in the morning, the first thing you're going to see is either people that have been up all night or leaving the bar, or people that are older, like, because they wake up, grab their coupon books, and start going in, you know what I mean? And I try and shop, like, as smart as possible when it comes to, like, weekly ads. I'm always checking the weekly ads, seeing what, you know, because Harris Teeter, Food Lion, all those stores we have down here, sometimes you'll get, like, 99 cents for a 5-pound bag of apples. You're like, what? Usually it's like $6. It's like, well, not this week. And people don't even know about that.
I've never been to Harris Teeter.
You gotta go, man. It's right up in Bishopville, dude.
I've heard this. I mean, I have. You
gotta watch them though, because like only the produce has like the best deals. Sometimes like I bought 6 boxes of cereal and only spent $2. It was like shredded mini wheats, and then you could pick Frosted Flakes or Lucky Charms or something. It's like buy one get 2 free or something like that. It's like that with shrimp right now. It's like they got good deals and stuff. You just gotta shop smart, and that's a big thing if you're trying to work on the nutrition aspect of your life. Like you gotta focus on eating healthy, and also, but not limiting yourself to what you know. I don't go out to eat anymore. I don't do any of that stuff, mostly because I rather make a meal at home.
You rather control what
yourself.
You're putting in.
Yeah. And a lot of people are like, why don't you just go out and get a burger? Dude, I haven't had a good old burger at like TGI Fridays or the potato skins I used to love so much. Haven't had that in forever.
Because you can't control how much salt, how much whatever they put into it.
You can't tell them what they're putting into it. It's so hard also for a vegan to go to a store and try and order something. Oh, is this cooked this way? Then I can't have it. Oh, can you make sure it's not cooked with this because I can't have that? It's like taking a vegan out to a place. It's like, might as well just sit at home and eat. You cook what you want, I want to cook what I want, and then we can both sit down and eat together if that's what you want to do. But then you also asked me what was a food that I would really love to have that I don't eat, like, at all. I would never even think about eating. That's, like, the worst thing possible. Dude, I'm telling you, I miss a good old spicy chicken sandwich, a number 3 meal from Chick-fil-A, a chocolate milkshake, man.
God damn it.
Yeah. But today's Monday, so they're open, so you can actually go. They're not open on Sundays. Yeah, a chocolate milkshake, dude. Every year.
Never had the milkshake.
Not every year. Every day. On my junior year and senior year, my buddy picked me up in Ocean City and drove me to school. Afterwards, we would sit in the back parking lot and tear up a number 3 meal. The large fry Chick-fil-A sauce, they barely give you enough, and then the chocolate milkshake, man. I'm telling you, a chocolate milkshake, don't get the cherry unless you want the cherry. The cherry's dumb. But chocolate milkshake, dude, yo. I mean, you have to let it kind of sit for a minute because it's too thick to get through the straw. But a nice chocolate, like peanut butter shake.
I like my milkshakes like I like my women.
Thick,
white and thick.
That's a little racist.
I like
my
girls vanilla.
I don't mind my girls anything.
Well, I don't mind my girls anything.
Black girls like me for some reason. I don't know why, and they say it's because I look innocent.
I'm a nerd, so I'm just kind of there.
Every time I walk by like a black chick, they always look at me and go, "Damn," or something like that. I'm like, "Thank you."
You better go ahead and get with the squirrel, my friend.
I like it. I mean, I'm not gonna, diversify. I mean, by diversify, I'm not gonna limit myself off to just white chicks. Now I'm gonna go all over the rainbow.
You better go ahead and get that swirl.
Get that swirl.
Get the swirl.
It's like Dumzer's Ice Cream Land. You want chocolate or vanilla? Maybe I want the Hawaiian Punch.
I had Dumzer's in a while.
I haven't had that in forever either. Ice cream.
I've been going to Island Creamery.
I don't eat ice cream. I'm lactose sensitive, so it's like...
I'm lactose intolerant. Like, not bad, not like too bad. Like, I'll just be gassy, but it's
exactly.
It's like not bad.
With everything I eat, it's like when it comes to me being gassy, it's like that's basically death for everyone around.
So is that why? I mean, didn't I used to see you eat milk with your cereal or
no dry cereal, bro?
I swore I saw you, or maybe it was yogurt. I made it. No,
it was probably yogurt.
Was it yogurt?
Yeah,
it must have been yogurt. Cause I was like, I remember you used to mix a whole bunch of stuff in it. For some reason I thought it was
mixed frozen fruit. It's usually pre or post.
That's what it was.
Pre or post workout, you do a nice lactose-free yogurt, like one of the light and fit, low-calorie ones, and then you do that, mix it with like a little bit of like egg whites or something. It sounds disgusting, but it helps it become a little bit less thick. And then you put like chop up frozen fruit. I'm always doing that.
Now I do have a question.
What's up?
Is it cool to eat oatmeal?
I don't eat oatmeal because I never liked it. I remember eating the dinosaur oatmeal when I was a kid.
But is that okay for you? Because that's what I've been eating.
Yeah, it's
lately.
oats. I mean, it's as long as you get the healthy version. Don't add a bunch of crap into it.
I throw like a little bit of salt, a little bit of sugar, cinnamon. That's it.
That's fine. I can't eat cinnamon.
Allergic?
No. I drank a bottle of Fireball one day.
Oh, you poor bastard!
And I drank the giant one all in one sitting. And the next 2 days I went to the gym after that. I was on the treadmill sweating nothing but cinnamon. So now when I smell French toast, I immediately get sick to my stomach.
You poor bastard.
Yeah, it sucks.
Fireball. You should have known better.
I didn't know at the time. I think I was a sophomore in high school.
See, you were a young boy.
That's why I don't drink. That and it's expensive.
I drink, but I don't drink as much because I damn near became an alcoholic in high school. So
What?
yeah, dude. When you saw me in high school, most of the time I was drunk.
That's terrible.
I was drunk or high.
But that's not your fault. You know why? Because it's society's way. It's how people cope in society, man.
I mean, it comes from. I feel like
It's an antidepressant, dude. So if you're depressed, you're finding that outlet instead of finding a more healthier option.
and being an addict is something that runs in my family.
Well, dude, I understand 100% when it comes to family, like addiction and all that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, when it comes to being an addict, I'm a physical fitness addict. You know, I can't not, you know what I mean? The way someone can't put down a drink, I can't not go to the gym. It's that same thing, like I need it, you know what I mean? It's a pain in the ass, dude, but you can get addicted to so many things, and there's definitely worse things out there to be addicted to, but...
Yeah, that's why I had to stop, because a lot of people don't know, I'm adopted. So
I didn't know this.
Yeah, I'm adopted. My birth mom, my birth mom and dad both did crack and they did drugs, and well, my birth mom still does. She's somewhere doing whatever she's doing, but shit. I'm a crack baby. I'm considered a crack baby. She was doing drugs when she was pregnant with me, so I mean, it's one of those things where I feel like. That's just something that just runs in my family, and it's like I picked up the alcoholism thing, but then I did what I could to snap. It took me coming home drunk one night, and my grandma calling me an alcoholic. It made that something about that made me so mad to the point.
Like, you're like, I don't want to be like them. You know what I mean?
It made me so mad to the point because I have cousins that drink way more than that. Where I've literally had to drag them in the house because they're blacked out, drunk, stiff. And it made me mad that she said that about me, but she never said that about them. And something about that clicked in my head, and it made me stop drinking. And I went cold turkey for maybe 2 years. And then I got bored. I went over to my neighbor's house, and he was like, "You want to drink?" And then I drank. I got drunk, but it's like now it has to be a special occasion for me to go drink.
Yeah,
I can't.
I thought about because certain people I tell people if they want to bring a beer over or like bring some like weed over if I'm doing a podcast, especially if I come to you. I'm not going to stop you from being comfortable or doing what you do every single day. I'm just asking for honestly a moment of your time. You know, if anything, like my fourth podcast that came out, I was interviewing an Indian woman that's a housekeeper at my work, and she was smoking weed on the podcast. She ended up getting me high, even though I don't partake a lot into all that stuff. I don't care if you do it. You know, I don't care. You know, I've done podcasts where people are smoking cigarettes back and forth. You know, I don't care. I'm not going to stop you from being comfortable. You're doing me the favor of coming to me and. You know, letting me talk to you and get my, you know, kick out of this. At the same time, also, you get to hopefully talk and have an interesting conversation with me. And, you know, it's something that, you know, we all got to focus on. I mean, really just finding our way in this world, dude. And, you're on the right track. I don't see you doing anything super bad. But, like, when it comes to, you know, this is my second podcast where someone has came out saying they were adopted. And I never knew. So that's like a big shocker to me.
I keep it to myself because just I feel like
you feel like if you tell somebody that your parents were crackheads or something that they're gonna think of you different. I don't think of you any different than how I did before, Tevin. You know what I think of you as? You want to know what I think of you? I think you're a great person. I think you're a funny guy. I think you're black. That's just the obvious, but I'm only cracking a joke there. But at the same time, it's like, you know, you're a buddy of mine, and you're a good dude. You know, even though we don't talk every single day, and it's nothing like that. It's nothing against you. I don't talk to anybody. I was introvert for so long, just dealing with depression and all that stuff, and now I'm starting to open up and come out into the world. It sucks because everything I like to do is early in the morning, so when it comes to late at night, I'm usually pretty tired after like work and school and all that stuff. I don't really have time to do anything. But it's like, at the same time, don't feel like if I don't message you back, I'm against you in some way. Sometimes I just randomly get like these things of fatigue where I'm like, I don't feel like doing anything. I don't feel like going out of the house. It's a lot, like I have a couple friends that deal with severe depression, and it's hard for them to focus out on that type of stuff.
That's why, like, you'll see me, like a lot of people don't realize, they'll see me, like, you'll talk to me one day, and then I'll, it's on. I forgot. I mean, you probably don't remember, but it was a point where, I went ghost for, a year? I can't remember. It was like 2014, 2015.
It's sometimes you just get in this little, you get in this little mode where you're just like, I don't want to do anything. I just want to do my thing. You know what I mean? That's what I'm trying to do. I mean, I still try and do that today, but it's at the same time, like, you know, I'm going to work myself around what I have to do to get what I need to get done, and at the same time not at the expense of anybody else. But I'm not going to cut myself off from the world, and it's so hard trying to build yourself up back from like being so closed off. It's why I feel bad. Like I have a couple friends that are like, yeah man, I'll do it, and they'll say it to you at work, like I'll do your podcast or something, then you go and message them later and they won't respond to you, and then the next thing you know they're asking you like, hey, what's the schedule like? Could you send it to me? It's like, where were you when I messaged you 12 times? You just didn't open them, and then when you need something, you come to me. And it's like, sorry, man, it's hard for me to get out of the house when I don't have work, or like something's not forcing you to get out of the house. Like, obviously, if you have nothing to eat or drink in your house, you're like, I have to go to the store now, you know, something like that. Even if you don't really want to, it's forcing you to go. But at the same time, it's so hard to find the motivation in life just to get out the door, or even start up your car, man. I mean, the only time I ever really leave the house, like super early in the morning, if I'm not going grocery shopping, is if someone's in the bathroom, and every single bathroom's locked. Everyone's doing a shower, doing whatever, getting ready. And I have to take a crap. I'm like, all right, I'm going to Walmart. I'm going to the gas station. Like, I have to get myself out of the house. And then you walk in there, and you're like, well, now I got to buy something. You know what I mean?
That's how I am. It's one of those things. There's times where I feel like getting up and doing shit and hanging out with friends, then there's days I'm just like, yo, I'm just about to sit here,
do nothing all
fucking
day,
eat and play Xbox and call it a day, and I'll be like that. But I'm getting better now. I'm trying to figure out some things. I'm trying to be more outgoing, and I'm about to start working on something that'll. I think it'll help a lot of people that feel that way. Yeah. Well, I mean, I got an idea.
It's definitely unrecognized in society, and like I said, that comes to definitely with how society kind of views us all. I mean, not to blame everything on society, like be that type of guy, but there's a change that really needs to start in the world, and it's started before, but it feels like it always gets, like, yeah, there's things that get better, you know, rights are given to other people that don't have rights, you know, races are looked at different, you know, different genders are looked at different, but at the same time, when we're moving in society, we're also moving back also. When it comes to, like, the newest technology that comes out and how people react to that type of stuff, it's good and bad. There's always going to be good and bad about it, like, you know, next new iPhone comes out that lets you start multiple websites, you know, cost-free. You're going to see multiple websites of people bullying other people or doing that type of stuff, cyberbullying. But you're also going to see, you know, new innovations where someone can be selling a product and get their business started and get their life going together. So, I mean, you don't want to stop progression of mankind, but you also don't want to take what's supposed to be good into something that's bad. And there's always going to be the person that takes it into something bad.
I feel like in the next couple of years, there's going to be a lot of big changes with almost everything. I feel like video games are going to go into a wild direction in the next couple of years. I think television is about to. I think sports. I think sports television is about to go into a way crazy direction. I think us as a society is going to change. I think
society progresses so freaking quick, man. We don't realize what we think is going to be the next 10-year invention or something like that ends up being either out of date like a year from now, or ends up being like something that we just keep on using and don't even really focus on upgrading.
I've been just like peeping little things, I'm like a '90s fiend. Like I'm a fiend for the '90s.
I go nostalgia with the '90s TV shows.
I'm a nostalgic person with the '90s. I feel like a lot of the things we're seeing is gonna
gonna make a comeback.
It's going to not necessarily make a comeback, but things are going to kind of redo itself.
I hope they don't redo any of the old TV shows, to be 100% honest.
Not necessarily that, but I think things are going to give you that feel. I think that football is going to give you. I think this new crop of stars are going to make it feel like how we looked at like people like Baker Mayfield. He reminds me of Brett Favre. You have certain quarterbacks that remind me of Peyton Manning. Like, you know what I mean? I feel like or somebody like Phillip Rivers reminds me of Dan Marino. Like, the great quarterback, like one of the greatest quarterbacks I've ever seen throw the ball, but just hasn't won a ring. Just hasn't been able to have the right team around him to win a ring. I feel like it's gonna go back. It's gonna go back to that feeling. I feel like wrestling in a form like WWE type wrestling is gonna go back to that feeling it was in the '90s. I feel like television and movies in general. I feel like we're gonna go back into we're gonna have a black renaissance again, like how we had in the '90s. I think.
Well, if you hear any interviews with any like famous people now, and they're a lot older, talking about how it was back in the day, they admit they would never want to do what they were doing back then now because of how hard it is today. It's because how so much everything has changed, and it's so like that's what you also have to give credit to all the new people that are coming out and becoming these super popular stars, because they're coming out to a whole new world. So it's going to be a little bit different than how you can't really take the advice of the older guy. You can take his advice, but at the same time, you can't really. It doesn't play really an effective role in how things go on today in society.
But I think that there's a lot of good new brains like there that like, even though you may not be able to do exactly what it was back then, I feel like there's a lot of good talent and like just brains there that'll be able to kind of like fucking Donald Glover.
Yeah.
Fucking amazing. I feel
good comedian, yeah.
Fucking
Chevy Chase is a good comedian too.
Michael Jordan Peele.
Oh yeah.
Fucking
Key and Peele, even though the show's not on anymore.
Not even Key and Peele, but like even though Get Out is his one movie he directed, and then his new movie Us, which I'm going to see after my birthday.
Did you see Bird Box?
I haven't yet. The
guy that plays in Get Out, the friend of the one dude, he's in it.
I thought you were about to say something else. I had a feeling you were about to say something else.
I was not going to spoil anything.
No, I thought you were about to say I look like him. That's what everybody fucking says. Everybody says I look like Lil Rel.
I can see it, but at the same time, it's like, yeah.
After Get Out came out, everybody used to, even when we were at the movie theater, when we went to go see Get Out, when the lights came on, everybody looked at me and was like,
you want to know what I think?
You the TS motherfucking A. And I'm like, yo, relax. I'm not Lil Rel. And like everybody calls me Lil Rel now.
Yeah, is that who the guy is, Lil Rel?
Yeah, Lil Rel.
Okay, you know who Lil Rel looks like? He looks like a mix of you and Hannibal Buress. That's a good one, right? That dude reminds me of Hannibal Buress for some reason.
I love Hannibal.
It's his face. I think like the way his face.
It's the beard and then the hair too.
Yeah.
His I have better skin than him. His skin is like his cheeks is like real puffy. Mine's is just kind of like, my cheeks used to be like that, but now it's kind of.
You care about your skin that much?
Everything else on me is puffy, but you know.
You care about your skin that much?
Yes.
Is that a black person thing?
No, it might be. It's just one of those things where I just naturally have good skin. I barely get pimples.
I do too. I don't really get acne either.
I barely get pimples. Oh, I was about to say something fucked up, but I'll leave that alone. Oh.
Probably best.
I don't. Yeah, that's my homie. I can't talk about him.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't diss anybody.
No, I have times where my skin gets fucked, and it's like it like fucks up at the wrong time, and it's like right like when high school it would happen like literally like in the movies right before homecoming, right before winter ball, like it'll literally happen the day before.
It's stress.
And I'd have to fucking get toothpaste and set it on the spot and then go to sleep and wake up and then it'll come off.
I never did that. I
It works.
was lucky that I didn't have to really deal with that whole outlet that bad. Like I get it every now and again. Like, I'll get one or two, but at the same time, it's from sweating from going to the gym or something. If I'm working out too hard and I sweat, and if I'm too tired, I don't take a shower or something. It's so hard to take a shower every single time.
See, I don't mind it, but it's like God damn, it'll come in the worst spots. Like it'll just fucking on my cheek.
Right on your eye.
Yeah, like fucking right here or like fucking right there, and it's like God damn it.
Or right on the tip of your nose.
Yes, like this one that came right here. It was one like where my nose ring used to be.
That just gives something for somebody to crack a joke at when you go into school.
Yeah, just like oh, you got a pimple before the dance. Yes, motherfucker. I have a pimple.
Yes, I'm a person.
Yes, I'm a person. A puberty nigga. Oh, I said it again. Oh, it's in my vocabulary. I can't help it.
It's fine.
I'm
not blocking you off from saying it.
Censor me.
Censor
No, I don't know. I think it's I don't know. I forgot where I was at. I'm old, dude. I'm old. I forget
We're just
so much.
like I said, man. We're riffing, dude.
Yeah.
We're having these conversations, even though we went off on a tangent where someone's like, "What the hell are they talking about?" At the same time, man, it all stems from the fact that we're all in this world together, and we all need to focus on finding our ways. And you know, I believe it's en route for you, man. Even if you don't feel like you've found it yet, but I believe you're on the right track to it. I don't think I'll ever find it. But I definitely think I will always be on the trail. I never want to get off the trail of it.
I think you'll find it, but it's going to come when I don't think you're going to find it. I think it's going to find you, and it's going to find you at the time you're not looking for it.
Honestly, if you're just passionate about something and it's making you happy while you're doing it, I believe you found it. So
like I have a couple things I'm looking into. I might start writing. I want to write a film. I want to start writing. Like,
I wanted to really be an actor when I got older.
Same. I mean, I like voice acting more than regular acting, but
I like regular acting. I've always been like the class clown type, but I've always been too afraid to stand up in front of people.
I mean, at one point I wanted to do stand up, but you know, some things just don't go your way. But I mean, I want to do.
And if you're still passionate about it, why don't you just go after it? I'll support you 100%.
Yeah, I'm gonna start writing.
You can crack jokes about some dumb podcast you were on.
I might
with some white boy.
I was doing a podcast with this white boy. No, but I'm thinking about writing. I've had it on my mind for a while, but I've just been kind of hesitant on starting it.
That's a good joke right there, man. I was doing this podcast with this white boy. He texted me at 4 o'clock in the morning saying, "Come over to my house. We're going to podcast." I was like, "Boy, I'm in bed."
This what the fuck it looked like me getting up 4:30 in the morning.
He told you to put on a sweat jacket and come over.
I don't like that. White people telling me come over to that house in the morning. I don't like that.
There
shit.
you go.
That's sketchy.
Look at that.
Shit. White people.
I am your freaking inspiration.
It's about to be Get Out Part 2.
Yeah, you have to Get Out Part 2.
Shit.
Tevin goes missing on the back of a milk carton.
Shit, fuck that shit.
Chocolate milk carton.
It's about to be a gang of people coming to find me. But I wanna start writing a script for I don't know how I'll get it to somebody or how it'll work, but I want to do a script for something about people with mental illnesses and people basically living their life through it. I don't want it to be based on me or anything like that, but I want it to like just show people going through life with mental illness. I want to show the good and the bad.
Well, my belief of mental illness, what it's like going through life with, is like if you have sunglasses on. You know, everything's a little bit darker, a little bit more damp, but everything's a little bit like you're not seeing it through the true sight of the world. Now, on the thing of depression, I really want to wrap it up on this question for sure. Have you ever had a transcendental moment? It's like an epiphany type situation where you it could be a sunset, a sunrise. It's a lot of the times the reason why people go on these extreme hikes or extreme adventures or travels where they, you know, you're flying in an airplane and you see the sun coming up, you know what I mean? And it's like you see it above the clouds and you're like, wow, this is beautiful right here. Have you ever had a moment like that? It doesn't have to be something so dramatic as climbing a mountain. It could be something as simple as waking up in the morning or just laying in bed, like on a cold Sunday day or something, you know what I mean? Like a winter Sunday, one of my favorite poems. You know, Those Winter Sundays by Robert Frost. Where he talks about the cracks of the ice on the window. I've talked about it before, but it's like something is beautiful like that. Mine was like, I've had so many of them, and I believe it's really hard to recognize in a certain situation. But do you have one that specifically comes into your mind?
I don't have things like that. I have like epiphany in my like dreams and stuff like that. I have.
But you've never experienced a moment like out in nature where you're like, wow, this is beautiful. I don't ever want to leave this spot. And you just kind of sit there and enjoy everything, take in the scenery, I would say.
I'm not sure. Like, I mean, I had a feeling like that when I went out to Vegas, and I didn't like go to the casinos or nothing.
You were just being overwhelmed by the views?
Yeah, I just kind of just was there. Like, I went out and like it was this big ass mansion. And I just like went out like where I was sleeping, and I went out the door, and like there's literally a golf course in the backyard with the pool, and it's like I'm just like, yo, this is fucking crazy.
This is the setup.
This is like
that's where you're gonna be one day when you're a famous comic.
I'm
you're gonna be a stand-up comic with a freaking hot tub, freaking panthers laying near the hot tub, and it's going to be on a golf course, and then there's going to be a pool around the hot tub.
And when I do make it, I'm not going to say I'm bringing everybody, but I'm going to make sure the people that do deserve. I'm going to make sure the people that supported and always been there didn't change. And how am I going to say? There's people I'm cool with now that I know haven't been there the whole time. And they might not think I don't know, and I do know, but I'm gonna make sure the people that's been there 100% of the time took their time to hit me when they when it was needed, and I'm gonna make sure they're all good along with me.
I will take one room in the broom closet.
I got you.
It can be the size of a closet. I don't care.
I'll make sure. I'm not going to sit there and give people a whole bunch of money.
I will interview every coat hanger in that closet. Jesus everyone that Christ. Goes to rack their coats. You want to do a podcast, sir?
Big ass fur coat. Yeah, motherfucker.
You got to get a grizzly bear like from The Revenant. You got to get that giant thing laying on you. Or panda. Dude, you could rock a panda coat.
A panda coat.
It'd probably be illegal to kill one, but...
No, PETA would have my ass.
Oh, they would.
They would have my ass.
Pretty sure the Chinese probably have a bunch of them laying around somewhere.
Oh, that's racist.
Just snag one.
Is that racist?
I don't think so. Is that? I mean, that's a stereotype, I guess. But at the same time, there's no pandas around here unless you're going to the zoo. I don't even think they have them at the zoo here.
Somebody might be mad. I don't really care.
Have you seen Salisbury Zoo? The only zoo we have around here.
Never been there.
There's nothing good there.
Never been.
I don't even think they have giraffes.
Been to Baltimore and DC's.
Baltimore's got the best one.
Yeah,
at least for around here.
I've been to Baltimore Aquarium. I want to go to Atlanta's Aquarium when I go see my cousins.
I want to go to the Baltimore Aquarium.
I haven't been there in a long time.
I haven't been there since school and a field trip.
I haven't been there since I was little.
Exactly same. I'm ready to go and venture out into the world. That's why I like having my podcast stuff be so mobile. Eventually I want to have my own studio, but having it mobile, I can just take it on the go and be like, hey, if I meet somebody that's like, I met somebody from Arizona that one time told me they died 3 times. And he was like, it was different points in his life. It wasn't like he died and they brought him back to life, and then he died again, and then he brought him back to life, and then he died and he brought him back to life. No, it was like 10 years apart from each other. And he was like, I was in the military, something happened, an explosion went off, my heart stopped, I ended up getting revived and something like that. I was like, dang. And, I just met him at work. He was a chef. And he was like, it brought some weird experiences out where I can see ghosts and stuff, even though I'm not like into that whole realm of seeing like stuff, paranormal stuff like that, but I believe like he believes it so 100%. It's like either he tricked himself into believing it or he has actually seen it, so why should I?
That's kind of like my cousin. He got blown up twice in Iraq. Blown up twice. Was that a IUD, whatever it's called? Yeah. He got blown up twice. Two different points. Cracked the skull both times.
Damn.
So he like when it comes to spirits, like, he'll feel them more than what most people would.
Jesus.
He'll like me, I'll feel them. Like, I believe in that. I believe in that 100%. I'll feel it. But, like, he'll get the shit where stuff will fall, doors will close, and stuff like that. But it's not necessarily it's not a bad spirit. It's somebody in his family watching over him. But it's like,
it's better than that ghost whisperer shit.
Yeah, it's like shit that lets
that.
him know they're there, but it's letting him know we're not. It's not a bad spirit. I get like
Jennifer Love Hewitt's hot, but don't be talking to freaking ghosts. That bull stuff.
Like I see spirits in a form sometimes. It depends.
I don't know if I've ever been that close to it. I just don't get super religious when it comes to that. That was just my whole upbringing, really. I believe religion, like, if someone wants to believe in it and it's good for you, but don't try and conform me to your views. I just don't like, that's what I believe, my big giant problem with, like, society and just people in general sometimes is, like, everyone's trying to conform you into their own thing.
I'm not religious anymore. I used to be, like, private school forced me to be religious, but now I'm just to the point where it is what it is.
People got to do what they got to do, man. People got to live their own life. I don't really focus on trying to control somebody else.
I tell people all the time, believe in what you believe in.
Exactly.
At the end of the day, whoever you believe in is a god. They all got different names, but they're the same person.
Really, just focus on yourself, man. Yeah. Build yourself up. Don't build yourself up by tearing somebody else down.
Yeah, I've said that a long time ago. Some people don't like to listen. Some people do. I just tell people, and this is for everything in life, and I don't know if you want to end it with that, but just believe in what you want to believe in yourself, and just believe that, just believe in what you feel is right. Yeah.
I agree with that 100%, man. Definitely, like, one of my favorite things is, you know, if you have a passion, every next step you take should be towards that passion. Mm-hmm. And I believe we're both on the way to something spectacular, bro.
And I'll also say, if you have a passion, if you have something you want, don't just give up on it because it doesn't work out the first time. Keep going for your dreams, but don't bullshit and just hope that it comes. Don't bullshit. Don't bullshit for 10 years. And then be like, oh, I want to go for my dreams, and then you're like a 40-year-old, like, still trying to fucking do whatever. Just, if you're going to do it, just say fuck it, throw caution to the wind, and go do it. And if you fall on your ass a couple times, you're going to fall on your ass, but if you have the determination for it and the heart for it, you're going to get it.
We're all just bags of blood on a floating rock through space.
Facts.
That's how we're ending it right there. Science rules. Bill Nye taught me this.